everybody, it is August 2025 and the weather here in Vienna is far too nice for gear. However, you wouldn't be watching videos of me chilling at the local beer garden. So I combined a few electronic musical instruments to 3 different setups for every budget and took them to some of my favorite places around here where there is no power outlet inside. The rules are simple: no iPads, no laptops, and most importantly, the setups need to be operable independent from the power grid. Diesel generators and solar cells aside, there are basically 3 ways to do that, and I dedicated a setup to each of these methods. The AA. This is probably the most old school, albeit not always sustainable way of powering gear off the grid. Pop in a handful of AA batteries and you're good to go. As the centerpiece of this comparably affordable setup, I opted for an OG circuit, as it is the only groove box I have that comes with a battery compartment. It offers 4 drum sample tracks and 2 internal digital synths. That's not much, so I added a Volca keys for analog noises and dub delays, and a Roland Boutique JX03 for traditional synth tones. According to Reverb sale history, you can get this entire setup for under 400 bucks, so taking it to the great outdoors can be considered a calculated risk. However, I allowed myself to include this Zoom Multi-FX unit, and while we're at it, a MIDI splitter does come in handy here. Although you might find workarounds for this, some kind of mixer makes your life a lot easier. As I need to record my jams anyways, I will be using this old Zoom for the entire video, which acts as a recorder, mixer, headphone amp and runs on, you guessed it, AA batteries, turning all this into the ideal setup for the island. Welcome to the Donauinsel, a 20-kilometer long artificial island in the heart of Vienna, keeping us safe from both floodings and eternal boredom. You probably don't want to take your costly hipster gear to a remote bathing spot primarily accessible via bicycle, so this setup is a safe bet for an environment like that. Planned obsolescence. Although there is still modern gear that runs on readily available batteries, most instruments for making music on the go come with a rechargeable and, more often than not, glued-in internal battery now. Yes, chances are that you will curse the day of purchase in a few years, but until then we are going to have a little more upscale yet affordable fun with a Polyend Tracker Mini and 2 Roland Ira Compacts. While the little tracker is capable of creating an entire arrangement, the S1 is great for classic Roland sounds, and I will use the P6 for DJ style effects and a bit of chromatic sample playback. All these instruments are available at your local music tech retailer for little over 1,000 bucks, a fitting combination for the forest. Vienna is surrounded by the Wienerwald, which is not your typical park, but a substantial chunk of real forest. However, there are quite a few beautiful spots that are easily accessible via public transport, so I don't expect this somewhat upscale setup to take any damage, and I appreciate the compact and lightweight form factor. bank. As you might have noticed, these two methods of powering a setup limit your options drastically, so the most popular solution is still a power bank. Sure, you could go with one of these roided up ones designed for laptops and a few ripcord adapters, but in order to craft setups that feel like home, I got myself a slightly bigger model with an actual AC outlet. Nice! Frequent viewers of this channel will have expected to see a Digitux. I went with the easier replaceable first version just in case someone calls the cops, and I'm gonna risk one of my beloved TB3s. An old sound canvas provides percussion sounds and crusty Rompler drones, which will be drowned in the internal reverb and delay of Digitux, an ensemble worthy of the castle. You might be surprised to hear that one of the main tourist sites of this city is only a walking distance away from Bad Gear HQ, Schönbrunn Castle. I don't want to get into more trouble than necessary, so I'll try to find a less public spot that still spreads the charm of imperial days long gone. Hope you enjoyed this little gear-based stay-at-home vacation as much as I did. Feel free to leave a comment about your favorite spots for making music off the grid, like, subscribe, and don't forget to click one of the links below before going on a gear shopping spree. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel, and welcome to the monthly shoutouts, which I unfortunately had to move indoors. Today I'm gonna use Polyend Synth, Tier 4.
Kelvin Steels, King of Palace, Biggest Tweets, JHVA, Red Confetti, Synth, The Mist, Candy Shaver, Coriolis,
Tier 6. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.